Hello and welcome back to What She Said. You're joined by your hosts. I'm Paige.
And I'm Emma.
By now, you will notice that there's only two of the awesome threesome. And that is because our beautiful Moira is currently dealing with Cyclone Alfred. Tonight, we are going to do our usual MAFS catch-up. I have not watched The Dinner Party, and I'll preface this episode by saying that I've not watched it. But Emma is going to dish all the things about the dinner party.
Yeah, so we'll talk about the dinner party as we go through the couples because there's particular couples that were more involved in heated discussion in the dinner party. So I think we start with Tony and Morena because they're gone. Morena's on a broom and she's gone. So.
She's gone back to the west, you reckon?
And didn't she? Didn't she walk into that room like the Wicked Witch of the West? Like, do you think that I was going to give him the last word?
I know. Gosh, there was no holding that woman back.
And any kind of feelings of, oh, poor Morena that I may have had, that comment kind of, and her face, she was full of fury. It all went out the window and I was like, no.
Yeah.
I feel like my inference of you being barren, I definitely think that inference was correct. So, yeah, they are no longer there. No longer there to worry about.
No, they're not.
See you later.
Nah. Maybe Tony's going to go and find a wife to have kids with.
Oh, highly unlikely. Well, the next couple I think we should discuss was a very subdued couple this week. Adrian and Athena.
Well, yes. Subdued towards the end of the week, but in the beginning, there was not so much subduedness. At the commitment ceremony, my goodness, I'm surprised that she actually stayed. Like, there's a whole lot that needs to be unpacked there because the way that he has really, I'm going to throw this word in there, but controlled her.
I was actually going to say manipulated, so I feel we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely appalling. And I did see on social media, which I try to, refrain from, but the DVO that Adrian has from his ex-partner, that was actually put on because of the police, and then she tried to have it removed, and the police and the judge actually said, we're keeping this in place for your safety. We're not removing it. So our listeners can go and research that if they like, but apparently when the police arrived to their house, there was blood smeared all over the walls. Like it was a whole thing.
Oh, so, wow.
And I don't think a person like Adrian, and for all sakes and reasoning for this exact thing, I would say Paul as well. I don't think either of them should have remained on or given any further airtime. They do not deserve to be in the public eye. The whole thing about women's rights and the safety of women, White Ribbon Day is there because of violence against women. Yeah. So for them to allow that to continue, no, that's not okay.
Wow, I honestly thought it was probably going to be nothing, and that's why they kind of swept it under the rug, but that doesn't sound like nothing, does it? Let's go back to the commitment ceremony. The massive bomb that Athena dropped saying that she would stay. Again, this is editing, but the producers were showing Adrian and Athena having quiet words while other people are on the lounge, and everyone was watching. I don't think anyone was really listening to the couples on the lounge. They were all trying to like zone into Adrian and Athena's. Yeah, that's right. So Dave kind of called him out while they were on the lounge and said,
she's looking to you for approval to speak.
And she was. It was obvious to everyone. I'm glad that Dave brought that up, and the experts also kind of agreed with that, didn't they?
Yeah.
And just the fact that Athena backed Adrian then. It's not a good sign.
Yeah. It's really difficult to even pull this apart because, as we find out, I really don't think that they're still together.
Yeah.
And the whole AVO thing came out 3 weeks into filming. So Afina's known that he's had this AVO. I don't know whether or not she's known what the extent of the AVO was or what the situation was surrounding the AVO. But
Yeah.
it's just going to show that people who is looking to be in the public eye to get whatever they can get out of it.
Yeah.
Is that what she's doing on the show? Is that what he's doing on the show? Because there's no way in hell I'd be putting myself in that sort of situation.
And she did actually say on the lounge too that she's really sexually attracted to him and she kind of wants to give it a go.
She's thinking with the hormones and everything that goes along with it.
Yeah. So that was the lounge. And then they kind of removed themselves from the other couples on the retreat.
They did, yeah. They went down the beach.
And I think that was probably a good move on their behalf to stay out of drama and lie low.
However, Afina didn't stay out of drama, did she?
She did not. She did not.
Afina and Jackie stood up to Lauren.
They did. They were just standing up to a bully, weren't they?
That's right. And taking Jamie's back.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that's the only two that helped Jamie out in a hard situation.
Exactly. And Jamie was even going, thank you, Jackie. Like, I would never have thought that this woman would come to my side, but thank you.
Yeah, so the conversation between Lauren and the girls got really heated and Lauren got up and walked out.
Yeah. I thought that was horrible.
Yeah.
This conversation is boring, so I'm going to leave.
Yeah, I know. And then she calls them some names
and then
under her breath.
accuses them of being aggressive.
Yeah. And I don't think that those actions of the girls night was aggressive at all. It doesn't matter what class you are. Girls like to chat and to gossip, and that's what they do. And that's what this show is about. So they're probably more likely to gossip about their relationships and to ask the hard questions just so they know where everyone stands. Yeah. So I didn't like that. And apparently, so my partner, he says he hates MAFS, but he seems to follow all the social media. And he told me that somebody tried to charter a helicopter out of the retreat.
Get out.
So I can only imagine from what unfolded on the cameras that it was either Lauren or Clint.
Yeah.
But the fact that Lauren went outside and was playing on her phone or whatever, like I'm wondering whether that was her poor attempt of chartering a helicopter.
Probably.
I don't know. I'm surmising.
You're like, Clint, pull out your credit card.
So just touching on Jackie, I think this was the first few episodes, or actually that one moment that she defended Jamie. I thought, oh,
yeah,
she's a person after all. Like, she's not this crying little actress that's just trying to get airtime. And that was the first time I thought, oh, she could be a normal person and this could all be an act.
From what I've seen on social media, she has not been portrayed in a very kind light, which I really feel for her. So they've made her out to be the crazy one of the show.
Yeah.
As we know, the show has not portrayed her in a very kind light. So I absolutely agree with what she did. The way that she defended Jamie, I think was very good for her. But the way that Ryan has been misogynistic, gosh, he's a piece of work too.
Yeah, he's a real shithead. So just the fact that he, going back a lot of episodes to Intimacy Week, he sat on the couch and told all the guys that Jackie gives great head. Okay, yep. And that was okay for him to say that, even if it was or was not true. I don't know. And now that they actually are having sex and are being intimate, he's pulled her aside and said, our sex life is not up for discussion. Nobody should know
Yeah,
about this. It's private. And Jackie did pipe up there and say, well, hang on, you opened this
that's
weeks ago.
right. Yep.
But he didn't like it. I just didn't like the way that he said, I'm only going to say this once. If this happens again,
Yeah.
this relationship is over.
It's an ultimatum. No, buddy.
Yeah.
You open the can of worms.
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of funny. Jackie was bringing it up in a girls' setting. They were sitting around, and she was just
Like
asked.
what we would do.
Yeah,
We would have that discussion. I mean, sure, I understand that Jamie probably shouldn't have said, so tell us about your testosterone and hitting the gym.
I know. But that's also ratings, right? And I think that's probably just Jamie as well. She has no filter. But
Exactly.
I think that is stupid.
Yeah.
And he says that it
No.
served him like 20 plus years. I can see that, when he was probably younger, remember how he was a bit of a nerd, he said, back in the first episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's why he didn't
Mhm.
have sex 20 years ago, because he probably couldn't get any.
There's nothing wrong with nerds. After Jackie and Ryan is a very unpleasant person. Now, I've not seen much about her on social media, but Lauren and Clint.
The new villain.
Big old villain.
Yeah.
Big old villain Lauren is. I don't like the way that she is looking down at people. She's not better than anyone else.
No.
And calling people bogans and boganic, like, come on.
Trolls. Just name calling. I don't understand. A very mean person. I know I'm jumping, but Karina actually said in the dinner party that the girls were acting like mean girls towards Lauren, which I disagree. I think Lauren's the mean girl. And I think Karina doesn't like conflict. And I think that's why she probably is playing Switzerland. But she's backed the wrong horse there. So,
I agree. I think the way that she's portrayed herself, or the way that she's being portrayed, again, it all comes down to editing, and we don't actually get to see the full discussion. No. But she said to the girls in the group, I don't have a spark and I don't find him attractive.
Black and white.
And then, exactly. And then when Dave goes and tells Clint about what Lauren has said.
Coming from Dave, that's as a friend. That's as somebody that says, I like this guy, I respect this guy, I want him to know the truth so he doesn't get hurt.
But I understand where Clint's coming from. And that is, well, I'm not going to just take the word of someone that I barely know over the person that I'm meant to be married to. So I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
But Lauren is not being truthful.
No.
I mean, yes, Clint doesn't know that she's not being truthful because she's not told him the truth, which is there is no spark and I don't find you attractive.
It's the perfect example of when you surround yourself in a toxic environment or with toxic people, it brings out the worst side of a person. And that's exactly what we're seeing unfold here with Clint. So I feel a little bit sorry for him.
Lauren is showing traits of her sister.
I know. They're two peas in a pod. We all thought that she was the nasty sister Tamara at the wedding. She made a huge scene. Lauren's doing exactly the same thing. And I can only imagine that this probably is how Elliot felt a little bit. He saw a glimpse of her sister at the wedding. And then maybe those couple of days that they spent together on the honeymoon, he was actually seeing the same traits. That's the only thing I can imagine to make somebody run for the hills as quickly as he did. Now, he's not my favourite, and pretty much because of how they edited him in those first couple of episodes, made him out to be a prick. And not giving her a chance, that she was materialistic. But I would agree with that because I know this is I think in last week's episode. She was talking to Clint, and she said what she wants in a relationship, and she wants somebody, and we touched on this last week, that she wants someone that makes $1 million annually and all the rest. Like, that's materialistic. And I think Elliot saw that, and that's why he left.
I mean, look, there's no problem in wanting to have someone who's the breadwinner and who can ensure that you've got a roof over your head, that you're cared for, that your needs are met. But saying that you want a millionaire, basically, so that you can sustain a luxurious lifestyle on his dime.
Yeah.
So that you can be the homemaker that you want to be.
Yeah.
That's well and good as well, but you don't need to be a millionaire. You don't need to marry a millionaire. Like,
no, completely 100% agree. You know, the thing that I kind of laughed about Lauren, they said like she had to divert her eyes when she walked into the room. Oh. I was imagining, holy shit, was he like banging one out or something? And I thought, no, that's an alpha move. Like, she would be okay with that. But the fact that Clint was doing the dishes and she had to divert her eyes from it, that's ridiculous.
And everyone was like, what did he do? What did he do? He was doing the dishes?
Yeah. Anyways, the fact that Karina and Ree went outside to see if Lauren was okay and to comfort her, I think that really hurt Jamie.
Yes.
Because they're two of her best friends in the experiment, and they're leaving her side and not defending her and going out to see if the frenemy is okay. And at the dinner party, so this kind of unfolds, and I'll get to that, but at the dinner party, Jamie says she's loud, but she has a big heart, and that she's sensitive and she feels deeply. So I completely understand why she's hurt in this situation.
I'm not the sort of person that's going to let other people feel left out. That's not what I'm going to do. I probably would not have gone out to check on Lauren because she just basically called me a bogan. So I'm not going to allow her to have any more of my time because clearly she doesn't want to be a part of it.
No.
But I kind of understand where the other two are coming from because, yes, they are very good friends with Jamie, but we don't know what the friendship circle is like in regards to Lauren. Have we seen it? No, we haven't. And again, it all comes down to editing. And Rhea had already shown that tried to stand up to Lauren and it sort of backfired.
Yeah.
In the kitchen when her and Clint were cooking their breakfast.
Do you think that Lauren was secretly crapping her pants in case Ree brought up the fact that Lauren did say, you've admitted that you have no spark and all the rest? Like, in front. I think she was packing it.
I agree.
Yeah.
And someone should have brought it up.
Yeah.
That should have been brought up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's what she said. She said it on camera.
I don't know why people feel it's almost like they felt like they couldn't bring it up. Like Rhea and Karina. Rhea's already admitted in previous episodes that she is a person that takes longer to process things and to figure out whether to say something or to not say something in a situation.
Assess the situation.
Yeah. So I think in this case, that's what she was doing. She did go to Lauren and have a private discussion with her, but then she should have also gone to Jamie and had a private discussion as well. And
yeah, I agree.
And in the dinner party, that's where we find out that the period from the retreat to the dinner party, Karina and Ree have not spoken to Jamie.
I wonder how many days that is.
I'm not sure.
When
the way Jamie said it, it appeared it would have been a couple of days, not just the next day. And so that is Jamie's little heart was getting broken even more in that time, thinking, nobody's backed me up. Nobody's come to talk to me.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
which at the dinner party, I'm just going to dive into it, shit hit the fan. So everyone came into the room, and you know how they all meet and greet each other, whatever. The girls did get up and give her a kiss, but it was very cold. And they didn't come over to say anything to her when they were having pre-dinner drinks. And I think that even fueled the situation more, because as soon as they sat down at the table, Jamie was up and she was into it. Like Chihuahua.
Oh.
And yeah, she straight at Karina. Karina and Jamie sat across from each other, which was strategic dinner placement. Jamie is passionate, and she was right into it. And Karina had actually said that, like talking to the camera, her little monologue, that she doesn't feel like she's going to have a chance to get her opinion across. Well, actually, to be fair, Karina had actually said the retreat was a mean girl situation. And Jamie's like, what? Like, how dare you say that I am a mean girl? I'm the only one that has stood up for every single person in this group at one time or another, and nobody stood up for me when I needed it. She said, now I just know where our alliances stand and where our friendship lies. Like, but Karina really didn't have a chance, and so she got up and removed herself from the table and went out the back. And the cameras didn't show her face because obviously she'd requested not to. So you just see the back of her, and you see people in front of her asking her if she's okay. And she was crying and said, I feel like I'm not smart enough to get my point across, or to get what I'm trying to say out. And for Jamie to make her friend feel like that. I know Jamie's hurt, and I know she's coming from a place of hurt, and hurt people, right?
That's right.
But for Karina to feel not smart enough, that's very sad.
That's right. I agree. And I really think that it should have, not that I've seen the dinner party, obviously I've said it numerous times now, but for friends to fall apart like that, I think that you need to be able to have a cool off period, and then come back when you both, you may still have a little bit of anger steaming through your veins about the situation, but have that downtime apart, recollect yourselves, and then meet back in the middle on even playing grounds and just go, look, I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to recap what has happened, but I just want you to know that I value you as a person, and what happened was shit, and both of us, we did not behave accordingly. The situation was shit. I'm sorry that you felt let down. I felt let down as well. But can we just make amends and continue to go forward?
I agree. And pretty much that's all she wanted was an apology. So she wasn't going to listen to anything Karina said unless it was an apology. That's why Jamie kept shutting her down. Ree piped up and said that the situation wasn't ideal, can't remember exact words, and she apologised to Jamie for the situation, and Jamie accepted her apology. So that's all Jamie was going in there for, was an apology, and she wasn't going to listen to anything else but an apology. I really like Jamie. I actually think she's probably the most genuine person out of the cast, but you know how some people just are drawn to drama, and they insert themselves in situations where drama occurs?
Yes.
I think our little Spitfire Jamie, I think she likes a bit of drama.
She is Greek.
Yes.
Can I just lift the atmosphere a little bit?
Yeah.
And touch on something that maybe not have been picked up by a lot of people, which was at the retreat.
Yeah.
And Jamie has told Dave that she loves him.
Oh, I know. And she's like, but I told him not to say anything. Yeah, and I mean, from social media, it looks like they're still together. So out of all the couples, at least they made one that have stuck together. And that's really nice to see.
That's right.
And
she wants to have all of Dave's babies. Yeah, I agree.
I know. Just another thing about the dinner party. So there was one couple that was missing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Clint and Lauren.
Let me guess.
Yeah.
Oh.
They chose not to turn up. So Lauren instigated that one and said, no, not going to spend any more time with these people. So they had their own little dinner party in their apartment, and the cameras obviously covered that because that's good ratings. I thought it was horrible because she's just created all of this drama amongst friends.
Mic drop.
Yeah. Yeah, and then she's just left it. She's walked away and she's gone, you guys deal with it. I think that's probably as low as you can go.
Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also another
I don't want to talk about her anymore.
Well, I kind of do want to talk one more thing about her because it's hilarious. So also on social media, I saw a post of pictures of Lauren and Lauren's clothes and a title saying, is wearing Sheen Boganic? Because the clothes
wasn't.
She was. Well, it appeared to be. Two of the clothes that Lauren was wearing on the retreat come from Sheen.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
The Boganic queen herself.
Exactly. Takes one to know one. So I found that absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I know. Other couples that we haven't discussed have been pretty boring this week. You've got TJ and Beth, although they were in the Beth was in the firing line a little bit at the retreat.
Oh yes, with her whole testosterone question towards Ryan.
Yeah. But to be fair, I probably would have worded it in a very similar way. Does that make me classless? Probably.
Look, I probably would not have phrased it the same way, but my questioning would have been down the same lines.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the fact that Ryan called her classless was pretty harsh. When going back to when he said that Jackie gives good blowjobs, that was classless. So
exactly.
He's very contradictory. So I think that's about it for the week.
I agree. So everyone, sorry, but we're having a lot of technical difficulties tonight. M has dropped off the face of the earth. Moira is still fighting Cyclone Alfie, and I'm here in Lonnie just doing my thing. So join us again next week when we catch up on all things MAFS. Please follow us on all of the socials, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and we'll see you again next week for What She Said. Bye.